All right. Good morning, good afternoon. Methodical Man here with the 5-minute forward test of the forward test of the 5-minute mechanical strategy that we've been testing for the last 15 weeks. This is going to be episode 15 or episode 16, and this will be our last episode for this adventure here. In our back test, if you're new here, we in the back test we ran at about a 49% win rate. And I did not calculate the win amount when I did the back test. I just know we ran at about a 49%. Using a 2-to-1 risk to reward, that's profitable. So far through 15 weeks, we are at 48%. So we're right in line with what the back test was through the first almost 4 months here. Profit of $9,797 through 15 weeks. Total is $653 per week. And that's at 48% win rate. So this is our final week here of the forward test. So let's just kind of jump right into it and see what happens. If you don't know what what we're looking for here is, basically we're looking for the first 5-minute gap to form after 10 a.m. So we just jump on the 5-minute chart here and we just look for the first gap after 10 a.m. So for example, here's the 10 a.m. candle. And you can see we have a gap right there. And if it's a bullish gap, we take a long. If it's a bearish gap, we take a short with a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward there. Actually, I'm sorry. Am I looking at that right? Yeah, that is a gap. All right. I was like, for a second, I didn't think that was a gap. Let me take it off there so we can make it more clear. You guys can see where it is there. So we will be taking a long from right here. And our stop is going to be at the bottom of candle number 1 there. So I'm going to change a few things with this setup to kind of get a better risk to reward here. So we're going to tweak this going forward, I think, by doing just a few small tweaks, like in scenarios like this, where you have a fair value gap below the 10 a.m. fair value gap. It might make more sense to take this gap instead. So you can see what happens here. Price pulls back into this gap, holds. So if we had put our stop here, then this would not be a stop out. Now, this is only a 22-point stop. You could say that maybe we should have put our stop there to begin with and targeted 84 handles there on your take profit, which would have hit. So, but just keeping it strictly mechanical right now with no other variables involved on this particular forward test, this is going to be a 22 handle loser. But like I said, on this setup right here, just thinking logical, you have one gap below this gap. And this gap being so high up on this move, the most logical spot for it to come back to is this one. But so in this scenario, we're going to put this down as a loss of 22 handles. But had you put the stop where it really realistically needed to be, this would have been an 84 handle winner. But so there we go. Starting off Monday with a 22 handle loser. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We do stream live 5 days a week, London and New York. We will be back live on Tuesday morning when the market opens. So join us for that if you guys like this content. So here's the open. We're looking for our 10 a.m. candle. Here's the 10 a.m. candle. No gap there. No gap here. It's very close, but there's no gap there. There is a gap here. So this would be our gap that we would be using. And basically, it would be a bearish setup, so we're going to take a short. So let's go ahead and look at the short here. So we'd be getting short from here. And our stop's going to be at the top of candle number 1 there. And as you can see, we just get stopped out right away pretty much. So 25 handle loser on Tuesday. So not starting off the week too hot there. Monday, Tuesday, both losers. If you guys are interested in trading futures, we do have all the links down below for Topstep, APEX, and Bulenox. If you're not going to sign up for an account right now, if you could just do me one huge favor and at least go down and hit the links for me. It helps the channel, shows activity there, and we really do appreciate it. So let's find the 10 a.m. candle here. That's right there. Let's zoom in a little bit, make this a little larger here so we can see. All right, is there a gap here? Yes, there is. There is a small gap there, so let's mark that out. If you can see, it's not very large, but it's there. See if we do a little better job at marking this thing out here. Okay, so the idea here is you can see price pulls right back into the gap there, just kind of taps it and then takes off. It's one tick away from the actual gap, but that's where I typically rest my order, one tick above the gap there to kind of ensure entry. So you could say that there's a possibility here that you don't get tagged in, but I'm pretty sure that you would here. So we would be taking a long from here. Stop's going to go at the bottom of candle number 1. Well, in this scenario, candle 1's higher than 2, so it'll go at the bottom of candle number 1 there, or candle 2. And we're risking 17 handles, so we need to look for 34 handles in profit here with a 2-to-1 risk to reward. It's going to be very close. I think we get it. There you are. So he comes down, gets tagged in, pushes right up there. So we get 34 handle winner on Wednesday there. So we're entering Thursday, still in the red. So let's kind of see what happens on Thursday here. Let's see. Got that big sell-off at the end of the day there on Wednesday. It's relative, right? It wasn't a huge sell-off there, but it was a sell-off. All right, let's find our 10 a.m. candle here. And here's the 10 a.m. candle right there. So let's just look for our first fair value gap here. And we do have a small one right here. You guys can see between this candle and this candle, there's a tiny gap right there. So it'll be taking us along from there. Let's go ahead and mark that out. Put our stop where it needs to be. Should be right there. So we don't even have to really look at this one too hard. This is a loser, right? Comes down and gets us. So 48 handle loser there on Thursday. So going into Friday, we're really going to need a nice big winner in order to make this a winning week. So not looking good so far. But if you are interested in trading futures, like I said, we got all the links down below. We do have a 71% off sale there with APEX, 72% with Bulenox, and 60% off on Topstep. So something to kind of keep in mind there. So let's find our 10 a.m. candle. Friday we had some pretty choppy action, looks like. There's nothing through here, right? And we do have a bearish gap right here. So let's see if this gives us enough for a win. So we would be taking a short from right here. Not going to draw it out for you guys. I mean, I would assume at this point that you guys know what we're doing if you're watching this. Stop's going to go just a tick higher right there. That's too high. Right there. So let's see if we can get a 2-to-1 here. I doubt it, but let's try it anyway. Maybe we actually might. I didn't realize it went down that much. So we get tagged in here. We'll push back up. We push down. Do we get stopped out? It's very close, but we actually don't. The protection of the pivot helps us there, and we end up getting a 45 handle winner. Now, I don't think that's going to be enough to get us to the green this week. That certainly helps to help the overall numbers there. So let's just do some quick math. 22 plus 25 plus 48. So we lost 95 handles this week, and we gained back, let's see, minus 45. Not a huge loser. So 16 handles is what we lost. $320. So $320 loser this week. That's 2 wins and 3 losses this week there. So let's take that $320 loss and we'll subtract that from our $97.97 there. $9,477 is the total that we had through 16 weeks in profit using 1 mini. That is an average of $592 per week. Not bad. And with the 3 losers and 2 winners, that still keeps us at the 48%. That does not drop us below. So forward test ran at 49%. Back test ran at 48%. Forward test ran at 40. Am I saying that wrong? Back test 49%. Forward test 48%. And the nice thing is, in my back test, I did almost 1 year. It was 10 months, I think. And then in my forward test here, we've done 4 months. So over a year of data there, and it's still holding at the proper win percentage. Now, there's a couple of tweaks that you could make to this. You know, you could say you want it to be a singular fair value gap, and if it's not a singular one, you take the one that's below or above. You know, the one that's kind of in discount or premium, depending upon whether it's a long or a short. And also, you could say that to improve the percentage, I haven't back tested it, but we'll look at it. Maybe you want a market structure shift with your fair value gap kind of thing. You could look at that also, and you could also look at possibly adding in an inversion, right? So you can see on this particular one, we inversed this gap over here. So those are just things you can kind of add to it there to kind of improve it if you needed to. But that's going to do it for the forward testing videos. There'll be no more of these. We may tweak it and kind of continue forward with it. It is a strategy that I am still have confidence in. I still have confidence in trading my cash account. So going forward into the new year, that's what we're going to do. I am going to try to get a 150K account funded through Topstep and take and use that account with maybe 3 or 4 micros. And that way we don't really risk blowing it and just kind of take baby steps with it and go forward with that. So that's going to be it for this forward test strategy. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And if I don't speak to you before Christmas, I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas, and we'll be live on Tuesday. Thank you for watching.